T21 Alchemy, yeah. T21 Alchemy, it's a T21 Alchemy. T21 Alchemy, it's a T21 Alchemy.
Hello, Oneness Sankara podcast in our lab. Okay, my mom podcast.
So hold on, is that what I sound like?
Yeah,
That's what I sound like when I'm doing my podcast?
yeah.
Welcome to the T21 Alchemy podcast. This podcast was birthed out of my lived experience as a mother to a phenomenal son with T21, aka Down syndrome, and the experience of turning this life into a play. If you've been following the podcast, then you will have heard a little voice on the jingle backing me up. And if you've been listening to a few episodes of the podcast, then you may have heard one or two announcements. And that is from my son, Apedemak, who is he's my heart and he is my inspiration for the work that I am doing now. He's my fire to want to see the world more inclusive for children like him, for adults with disabilities. His birth, his beingness opened me up to a world that prior to I was a bit ignorant about, to be honest. And I am somebody who I work in the arts and I've worked with all types of different people, different cultures, different abilities, and still I didn't know what the things that I am learning now and that I am wanting to share through my creative advocacy. So that's my boy. That's my boy. Can we just have a conversation? Is that all right? Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Hydrogen peroxide.
Hydrogen peroxide. Oh, wow. You've really thrown me.
Hydrogen peroxide.
I'm going to come back to you. Okay. So this is for Mummy's podcast.
Yeah.
What's Mummy's podcast?
About the Down syndrome awareness.
Down syndrome awareness. Yes. That was really good. So my podcast, which you helped do the singing for, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the jingle. And I'm just going to share some of the conversations that we have. So.
Not the particular one.
Not the particular one?
No.
All right, but so can we just have a new conversation?
Yeah.
All right, what can we talk about?
The sun and the planets.
The planets?
Yeah.
So we're on what planet? We're on planet
Earth.
We're on planet Earth. Okay, so that's really cool. And then what other planets are there?
Okay, I can speak first.
So oftentimes when you hear the conversation about special educational needs and disabilities and families, we hear the struggle. Now, I'm not going to belittle the struggle because the struggle is real. And there's the everyday family life. There's the thing that we are actually fighting for, why we're doing all of those paperwork, why we're doing all of the advocacy, which is to enjoy our family life. And part of my process of creating the play, T21 Alchemy, has been to speak with other parents, carers, and families with children with additional needs and find out their stories, their opinions, etc., to support me writing the play. And one of the things that once we've spoken about the heartache of the challenges that the systems throw against us, that the inequality in societies throws against us, underneath all of that, which should be on top of all of that, which should be central, is our children. And our children are phenomenal and extraordinary. Extraordinary and ordinary all at the same time. It's just the fact that, like every other child, our children are amazing, funny, cheeky, feisty, all of the textures too. And this episode is me celebrating that. And my son is helping me to do that.
Do you follow the podcast? Have you subscribed? It helps the podcast. Thank you.
As I said, I am not negating the fact that there is the paperwork, admin, being gaslighted, cultural biases, waiting lists, the everyday of having to look after health aspects, if that's part of the journey. I'm not saying that these things don't exist. Actually, what I'm saying is that those are the things that steal our ordinary, takes time away that we should be spending with our families, with our children, with our adults who have disabilities, and making memories, because that's what family and that's what life is about, right? And yet these things take up an unnecessary extra amount of our attention when we're already like exhausted, and sometimes has us distracted. I'm going to share one of those moments of distraction. My son, I'm doing something, I'm organizing some sort of, I don't know, maybe a learning activity or something I'm organizing. And he's come to me and he's like, I can hear him saying something about a bank card. Mom, I need your bank card. But I wasn't, why would he need my bank card, right? And then, so I carry on doing what I'm doing. Then he comes back in with my bank card, with my actual bank card, and said, I went in your purse and got your bank card because we need to buy, I think it was a Daniel the Tiger book or game online, and he took my bank card. So obviously we had the conversation that, hey, you don't go in mummy's bag, you don't take her bank card, etc., etc. But it was, yeah, it was a moment. It was a moment. It was one of those moments that is filled with not even duality, like with layers, because obviously it's the you don't do that, you don't da 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 with the bank card. Then the fact that you were actually going to attempt to like in terms of as um a learning point, and I know I don't subscribe to milestones, but a sign of development, if you like, in terms of knowing what the bank card was for, how it could be used, life skills, functionality, buying things online. But I don't want you buying things online, you know? And so there was part of me that was like, oh, yeah, good on you. Like, yeah, in terms of independence and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I was like, no, dude, you can't be taking my bank card and buying stuff online. That's not cool. So it was a moment of duality that made me chuckle because the boy had the audacity to come to me. I want to use my bank card to buy Daniel the Tiger stuff. He likes Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. And I find that there are many moments where I have this kind of layered response to things. I remember, right, so I don't know if anybody's heard of something called singing hands, but they use Makaton signing to like nursery rhymes and, a lot of the songs that children would like to listen to. So when he was a wee lad, when he was younger, I used to play singing hands. And this was before his speech had really developed. And he'd sit there and watch singing hands like whatever. I remember he was very small. He was still in his standard feeding chair, right? So I play singing hands and he'd watch it like he didn't care. And you know the bit that he would join in with? www.singinghands.com. Not the songs, just the www. This episode is random snippets because sometimes our lives are not linear. Well, my life isn't anyway. And things tend to be these snippets. And because of some of the pressures that come with being a carer in a world that isn't designed to support difference, disabilities, neurodiversities, etc., the life can be even less linear. And so this episode is kind of not in order, but that's a bit of my lived experience. So I'm sharing this with you. All right. Let's have another conversation. All right, what, can we have a different conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, what about, what's your favourite colour? No, you don't want to talk about that. Okay, what do you want to talk about then?
Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Hola.
No. Let's talk about dragon in a bus.
A dragon?
Yeah, in a bus.
In a bus.
Driving.
A dragon, right. So there's a dragon in a bus driving.
On a London bus.
On a London bus.
Not a big dragon, a small dragon.
A small dragon.
A little dragon, a little one.
A little one, so it can fit on the bus.
Yes.
All right, so what do you want to talk about?
Okay.
All right. So
my collection.
Your collection?
Yeah.
What collections do you have?
I have rocks.
You got rocks?
Sticks.
What? Rocks?
Spricks.
What is spricks? You know, I listen to these bits of conversation that we have and reminds me how brilliant our children are. And as everybody does, they come here with a purpose. And I just wish that the systems, the education systems, etc., could recognize their brilliance as we champion for inclusion. So yeah, our our conversations can be all over the place, and we'll end up talking about a myriad of things in quite a short space of time. One of the things that we recently had a conversation about was where babies come from. And so, you know, he's got the concept that babies were in their mummy's tummy. And so he'll be like, oh, you know, you were in Nana's tummy? And I'm like, yeah. And so was in Auntie so-and-so's tummy? And I'm like, yeah, etc. And then, so he'll repeat stuff a lot. And so he was recalling this conversation again. And he was like, yeah, I was in mummy's tummy. And then mummy dashed me out of her tummy. And I was like, where did you get this from? I didn't dash you out of my tummy. Like, who? And it can seem so random to you watching, listening, that these stories are important to me, to us as a family, even to some of my community. But when life is so busy with the fighting, the advocacy, trying to keep your mental health up, because the journey of a ascend parent, of a carer, can be isolating and lonely at times. These moments mean so much more, because that's what we want, to just engage in the beauty of family life and see our children thrive and grow into their full potentiality happily and healthily. And that's a human right. However, us humans don't always get it right as a society. And so
Excerpt from T21 Alchemy, the play.
this week, finally, it's quiet. Time for me and Judah. And yes, we still haven't got results from tests. And yes, he'll need to operate on his eyes, yes, and all of the rest. But now I just need the beat to take a rest. To breathe and be and take it all in. What am I thinking? What is he thinking? What am I grieving? Grieving the lack of celebration of my son's homecoming. Something feels broken, like those early moments were stolen from us. marred by all the panic and the fuss, no time to just be. Plus, no newborn picture on the wall of fame.
The T21 Alchemy podcast is part of a wider creative project exploring disability, inclusion, real, lived experience. Hosted by artist and advocate Oneness Sankara, my mom. The series sits alongside a developing play and research-informed work curated in conversation with SEN families and communities.
So yeah, there's loads of things that we have to give our attention to, and probably most of these episodes will be about educating and the wider things that we have to deal with as parents and carers and disabled people in communities, etc. But I just wanted to take a moment to just remind us of the joy and the why. And also, I'm really happy for you to share those stories with me. If you're on Instagram, just message me at T21 Alchemy. And who knows, with your permission, I'd love to include your stories about your child in the podcast. Why not?
Okay, let's touch her precious mom's hair. I touched her afro.
You're touching my afro, yeah, you are.
I like your afro, Mom.
Thank you.
That's like touching her hair.
You are touching my hair.
Yeah. And it feels softer.
And it feels softer. But do you know what, though? You were actually messing with the shape.
Oh,
I give up. My afro's all like funky.
Funky?
Yeah, like the shape is completely gone. I think this is what we look like at the end of a conversation. Thanks.
No. We'll see.
Having to do admin for our children who have special needs and disabilities shouldn't take away from their childhoods. And yet sometimes we find ourselves in that position as parents, be it mentally, be it time-wise, physically, be it financially. And I don't think that's right. And I think something needs to change. Thank you for watching and or listening to this episode. Please share with a friend who you think might enjoy this vibe. And also, do give us a rating if you're on the podcast platforms and a review, because all of that helps to build the podcast, but also helps to spread the message of inclusion and the centering of the experience of SEND families in society.
T21 Alchemy.